Getting into New York City is getting more expensive. The Port Authority approved toll hikes for bridge and tunnel crossings. News 12 New Jersey's Chris Keating breaks down the numbers and tells us what the extra money will be used for. He's in Perth Amboy. Chris?
Sitting behind me in the clouds in Perth Amboy here is the Outer Bridge crossing. Whether it is this bridge, the George, or the tunnels, or any other crossing, you're going to be paying an extra $1 to get into New York City. And this toll hike doesn't start a year from now. It starts in the new year, specifically on January 8th. Pick any one of the 6 crossings: the Lincoln Tunnel, the Holland, the George, or the bridges into Staten Island. The cost of the toll to get across is heading up. Here's the breakdown, assuming you have Easy Pass. Tolls at peak hours will rise to $14.75 from $13.75. Off-peak will jump from $11.75 to $12.75. And if you don't have Easy Pass, well, you'll get a bill in the mail for $17. Driver's seat is yet another rising cost.
For the people who really struggle, and for truck drivers who their livelihood depends on it, it hurts.
That driver, Bob Romano, tells us he would have expected to see something resembling a holiday savings from the Port Authority.
They got rid of all the toll booths. They got rid of all the salaries that went with that. So what happened to the savings?
The price hike was approved by the Port Authority as part of its $8 billion budget. Along with millions of dollars for things like maintenance, operations, and security, there are special projects the money will go toward. Some is for the $2 billion project to restore the George Washington Bridge, which includes replacing 592 suspension ropes. Another is for finishing off the new Terminal A at Newark Liberty Airport. Within this budget, the Port Authority states that the toll bump will be offset with lower volume thanks to cashless tolling. The Port Authority Executive Director saying this budget continues their efforts to recover from the financial damage done by the pandemic when the volumes handled by Port Authority facilities were decimated. However, that may not play well with truck drivers. Remember, you pay $1 more per axle. A big rig has 5 axles, which means $5 extra. The last time truck driver George Randall crossed into New York City, it cost,
I think it's $172.
add $5 more to that come January.
You're looking at getting a certain amount for a load, and that's $200 right off that load, right off the top. $400 coming back.
And that extra cost is exactly why that truck driver we spoke to along the turnpike says he tries not to go into New York City. Finally, when it comes to toll revenue, the Port Authority says they are projecting as much as $2 billion in revenue from tolls in 2023. In Perth Amboy tonight, I'm Chris Keating, News 12 New Jersey.